Welcome to the Take an Art Break podcast. Today we're really excited. We're with a friend and an artist, Callie Gilbert. Callie, introduce yourself to our audience.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, first of all, for having me. Thrilled to be here. Callie Gilbert, I consider myself an artist, and I'm an author, photographer, filmmaker, and painter. And I'm a creative. I love creating. I'm the founder of Tower 15 Productions, which is a nonprofit, but we have two missions basically. We produce social impact documentary films that raise awareness and help inspire positive change in the world. And we also support women through entrepreneurship, mentoring, and training. So I'm very passionate about sharing art, but also giving back to our community as well.
Yeah. Thank you for that introduction. It's nice to have you here. We wanted to talk today about the question, how can art help us reconnect with someone or something? And I feel like that's a really a question that you could definitely answer considering your life and work and what you're actually currently doing.
Yeah, absolutely. I guess it started back in 2023, the end of 23, when my mom passed away. And I moved my dad, who is also an artist, from the East Coast in with me here in California. And at the time, he had put his art basically on hold to raise a family and experience life. And so he needed an outlet for not only the grief of losing his wife of 53 years, but also this huge, huge transition of moving to a new state, new house, new everything, right? And so I said, well, why don't we resurrect your art? And so when we found a house in San Diego. The first thing I did was I bought him an art table and I set it by the window overlooking the ocean. And that became his space. And it was wonderful because he was able to tap into this hidden gem that he had all along, but had become dormant, right? And so it was really wonderful to see him become alive again through his art.
That's beautiful.
And that's basically where it began. And we have a
Yeah.
little kitty. Kelly has decided to come and join me.
Hey,
Hi,
kitty.
girl.
The muse is in the house.
He's like, hi, we're here, little girl.
So, it was a huge transition, moving, the loss of a wife, your mom. How do you feel like art or creativity connected you and your dad? I see your dad looking at the ocean and creating and kind of because art is process, right? But
Yeah,
how did
yeah.
it connect you two and heal you both?
Yeah, it was so great because once I did that, I was like, we need to create something that we can do together. And so we created a new brand called the Mermaid and the Veteran because my dad's a 20-year military veteran. And we just started joining local art communities. We joined the Oceanside Carlsbad Art League. We started doing these First Friday art walks and really getting involved in the community, which was, and he loved it, right? So, because it's all new, right? And so
Yeah.
it was new friends and new people and new experiences that he was able to have. And we did it together. So it was really nice. It was like we were this package deal that that went everywhere together. And it was so much fun. We loved it.
Yeah, it's funny. Do you think you were more likely to do it because you were doing it together? I mean, like Lisa and I talk about
Yeah.
it a lot. Like we've done a lot more together because we've been side by side, and it's almost like you have that person with you reminding you, like, number one, you can do this, and number two, like, it's like I'm right there with you.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. And everywhere we went, the great thing about San Diego, it's very military heavy. And so
Mhm.
it was, everybody just welcomed him with open arms. Right.
Yeah.
And I think that really helped because he was able to share something that he was truly passionate about to a community that was very welcoming. And
Yeah.
so it was like this win-win in every aspect of starting over. And we moved out of our San Diego place recently, and I look back and I said, well, that was the perfect spot to land for him
Mhm.
because it was exactly what he needed. He needed that community. He needed to be able to get back to something that he loved and to grow and to find that that's something that became a routine, right? Because he
Right.
needed that structure. And
Mhm.
so that was huge for him. And I think being able to do it together, we got to explore so many things together. We created a new motto for us, and it was every day is an adventure.
Mhm.
And where's life going to take us, right, today? And by doing so, it truly was an adventure. We met new people, we had new experiences, and we got to do something that we loved and enjoy it at the same time. So that was really great.
Did
That's
you,
awesome.
through this whole process, it's been like a year plus, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
have you seen your dad like um get younger, maybe through the
Oh
process of
yeah, I've
art?
had so many people comment how much younger he looks from because we documented everything, right? It was literally like from the time we were at the airport about to cross the country to every single step of the journey we documented. And in even like the first few months, my friends were saying, "Oh my gosh, he's changed so much. He looks so much younger," right? And that's been amazing. And what I've seen recently, which is very exciting, is that he's attempting new aspects of his drawing. He does pen and ink drawings, and he's like taking like one aspect of something, say a butterfly, and that'll be the centerpiece. And then he just allows his imagination to create the rest of it. And so and he just gets so excited when he does that because it's like, he's like, who knew? Right. And so, yeah, that's been really exciting because it's like he's evolving as an artist, right? He's going to be
Yeah.
85 in November, but he's still growing as an artist, which is wonderful to see.
I love that's still happening.
Yeah.
If you can like imagine like a version where you guys weren't doing this and then you are kind of, if you could give a comparison, like what has it done for the two of you individual, we know what it's done for you individually, but what has
Yeah.
it done since you're doing it together?
Well, it's allowed us to realize that there's unlimited possibilities out there, right? We both were, I mean, now we're making a movie, which is we've already made one. We're making another one. I would have never thought
Mm.
that would have been possible,
Yeah.
right? And so when we made the first one, it was basically this kind of challenge from my film mastermind group to create a film. We did it last year, and it was funny because at the time it was like I had so much on my plate that I was like, there's no way, I can't do this. I was working on two books and helped him write his memoirs and all of this. And then when the books were done, I was like, let me go watch this, Zoom call and see what it's all about. And I was like, oh, I could do that. We could do that, right? And we made the film in 2 weeks. I mean, it was incredible. It was just like the idea came. It was called Paint and Snap. And it was basically about how to take art and create the world that we want to live in.
Oh,
So,
wow.
like in the movie Mary Poppins, when they jump into the painting,
Mhm.
right? So it was kind of like, what if we created a painting of the world that we want to live in, right? And
Wow.
so we started doing that. And it was so funny. We just, shot at the local park down the road and just invited some friends. And it's just like a quick 10-minute film, but it was so much fun because it was just like, okay, Dad, let's do this. Let's do this. And he
Yeah.
was like so gung ho. And so it was like, all right, cool, we made a film. And so this one, he's like, I don't really want to be in it, but I do want to be kind of like behind the scenes. And I was like, absolutely. I'm like, you'll be my producer, right? So
Yeah.
now we're actually working on a film which we're really excited about called Warriors Canvas. And this film is about how to take art and writing and use it as a healing modality for veterans suffering from PTSD.
Mhm.
And so same thing. It's funny how I always say when you're in alignment with something, everything flows, right?
Mhm.
And literally, I had come up with the idea as we were packing up the San Diego place. We arrived in LA and the idea started to flow. And I reached out to some veteran organizations, and literally within hours, they're like, yes, and we started production like the next day. I mean, it was crazy how fast it all came together. And so, yeah, so things that we would have never thought possible, we're now doing, which is really cool because we're like, okay, well, if we can do this, then
Yeah.
what's next?
Yeah.
Right?
I love that. I love that.
Me too. I love it too. It's like you are leading, you're living the artist life, or life is art. You both. And then it's like what happens when you live in creative life? It's like pure potential, pure possibility,
Exactly.
right? Which is
Exactly.
amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. And like one of the organizations that we reached out to was, of course, the VA here in LA. And as I was researching them, I found out that they were actually having an art festival at the end of the month. And so I was like, oh, and they're like, and the submissions are still open. And I'm like, Dad, right? And so,
Yeah.
right. And so I reached out to one of the women involved, and I said, I'd like to submit my dad's painting. And she's like, absolutely, right? And so we did that and went and met her, and she was incredible. And we told her about the film. And she's like, well, you're welcome to film whatever you want when you're here. And, having, of course, the veterans permission. And she's like, but whatever you want, you're open to do that. And so it was just another piece of the puzzle, right?
Yeah. And I'm thinking about just this film that you're working on now in terms of like this idea of connection, right? Of like you're connecting veterans with each other, veterans as artists to the world, and then the process that they're going to go through. And it's
Yeah.
like this timeline of, their history, and they get carried it with them, and they're going to be able to communicate it and process it, but also connect with it.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
then tell their story. I mean, I think that's really powerful. And I love the aspect of that. Like you're doing it with your dad and the power that, that has with it. I think like what I'm kind of gleaning from this conversation is that like, obviously Lisa and I are like big proponents of one individual can do anything, what you do does matter, and you can have a positive impact on the world. And we promote like just even taking an art break is having a positive impact.
Yeah.
But when you add a fellow person that almost is is sort of going to be your passion on those days where you want to kind of run away or shelter yourself, and is gonna, carry you through it. And then you kind of have that potential that you just keep climbing and climbing. There's so much power in that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
What I love is like just in like you're telling a story, but elders and veterans usually they're kind of like marginalized, right? We think of them. So what I'm feeling is it's almost like you are seeing them through their art, and then you are witnessing through their art, and your dad is like a huge testimony to that, right?
Yeah. And the cool thing though is that, every veteran has their own unique story, right?
Yeah.
And so this is their outlet of being able to express that story in only the way that they can.
Yeah.
Right. But it relates to so many people because it's like, oh, okay, wow, I never saw it from that vantage point, or I never understood it from that way, right? And so it's allowing these artists to be able to share their stories in a way that's creative, that also inspires others to do the same thing, because there's so many, of course, that are shut down, right? that don't know how to express, right? And here's a way of doing that. And that's what the main goal is really to inspire others to be able to share their stories and find healing at the same time.
Yeah. Well, I can't wait to see the final, sort of artwork from that. Yeah. And thank you for taking the time to chat with us today. Lisa, do you have any other questions?
I do. I want to follow up. So I know that you wrote a book about this. How can you help other, I guess, people that are our age and whose parents are elders kind of make them, follow the creative path or inspire them, and how that connects you, to something larger?
So in November of last year, I helped my dad publish his first book, The 9 Lives of Joe, which is his full story of his life. And I also knew that I wanted to write a book about this new chapter that we're experiencing together. And so my book is called A Second Chance with Dad. And it's basically for adult children caregivers who are experiencing this for the first time, right? And not really sure where to go. So, along with the book, we also have a caregiver guide, which really is step by step, and then like cut out printouts for doctor's appointments, doctor checklists, and activities they can do together, and just a lot of self care, right? Because you can't do it, and you can't just keep going and keep going. You're gonna
Yeah.
get overwhelmed, right? So it's really important to focus on self care and knowing that you're helping this other individual, but you got to keep that balance, right? So it's sharing the story of our experience, but then also offering some tools, a toolkit basically for the caregiver who's now experiencing this for the first time.
Yeah, I love that. We will definitely provide a link to that. How about any like super easy way for someone to dive into it? Because a lot of people aren't in the position of you where they do consider themselves an artist and that their elder is an artist as well. What if it's people that are sort of searching and don't really even know where to start? What's something you would suggest to
Yeah.
them?
So it's, well, the main thing is communication, right?
Mhm.
So it's that communication with the parent, right? And it's finding out, what do you like to do? What is something that, and we put this in the book too. What is something that you loved to do when you were younger, but
Mm.
you set aside, right?
Yeah,
Right? That you would like to do again, right? And then they do it together,
I
right?
love that. Yes.
Right? And so that way you're strengthening the relationship, right? By experiencing something new. I mean, some parents probably love to do things that they never even mentioned because it was like, oh, well, now I've got the responsibility of, raising a family and doing, and they put this dream aside. And so it's like, what is that one thing? So it's that communication of finding out things that they love. And then the same thing with the parent and the child. The parent could say, what is something that you've put off that, and then so same thing, and then it's just experiencing it together and finding things that they like, and even new things, right?
Mhm.
It's like finding things that, it's like, what is something out there that is like all the rage that would be kind of cool to check out, right? Pickleball.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah,
and trying to do that together. So it's just finding something that they both love and experiencing it together.
It's like
I love
dreaming and then dreaming together and then dreaming bigger, which is
Yes.
really cool.
Yes. Yeah. And that's basically what we're doing, because we're like, okay, well, let's go here now,
I love that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Kelly, where can people find you? Tell us about what's on your horizon and yeah,
Yeah.
where's
So
the light
Kelly,
taking you?
yeah, kellygilbert.com is my main website. And that's where you can find out all about my work as an author. All my books are there. Some of the films are there. Tower15productions.com is the main site for the film production and the nonprofit. What we're doing right now, which is super special, is I lived in LA before my mom passed away. And so Santa Monica and the Palisades was my community. It's where I spent most of my time. And so through Tower 15 Productions, we've created the Pacific Palisades Rebuilding Fund to support women who had lost businesses and homes in the fires, and we're helping them rebuild. And so a portion of all the work that we do goes to benefit that. And then we also have a 325 campaign, which is our main fundraiser, where the goal is to find 325 women to donate $1,000 each. And then that will help these women in the process of rebuilding not only their businesses, but their lives. I mean, they're basically starting over from scratch. And so, yeah, and I'm also working on a film about that. We have a film called Pally Strong, Women Rise to Rebuild Pacific Palisades, which will chronicle the stories of these women and their journeys of transformation. And so, yeah, that's basically what I'm doing right now. So they're the two main websites, and very easy to get a hold of.
All right, and we'll put links to those so everyone who is interested in following up with you or wants to connect with you or learn more about you can do that. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
All right.
Yeah, thank you so much.
So much. Keep on creating.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I have to. I've often said creating to me is like breathing. I have to
Mm,
do it.
Yeah, I hear that. I hear that.
bravo.